Welcome to Breaking News TV 24, your channel for news updates and current affairs. Stay tuned.
Breaking news just in. Niger to begin oil exports via Benin pipeline in January. For details of the story, please stay tuned. Niger expects to export its first barrels of crude oil through a newly established Niger-Benin pipeline in January, as stated by the country's military leader Abdurrahman Chani on state television. Three main points to note from the story before we dive into the full details. The export pipeline project, supported by PetroChina, was inaugurated on 1st November, connecting Niger's Agadem oil field to the Benin port of Cotonou. Storage tanks in Cotonou are currently being filled and are expected to be completed by January. Niger is planning for a refinery which will process Nigerian crude oil on Nigerian soil. So we will dive into the full details. Join us. The export pipeline project, supported by PetroChina, was inaugurated on 1st November, connecting Niger's Agadem oil field to the Benin port of Cotonou, Reuters reported. Tiani mentioned in an interview on Niger's RTS channel on Sunday that the storage tanks in Cotonou are currently being filled and are expected to be completed by January, marking the beginning of the commercialization phase. Niger is set to receive 25.4% of the 90,000 barrels per day slated for export through the pipeline. The country currently operates a small oil refinery with a capacity of 20,000 barrels per day, primarily serving the domestic fuel market. Expressing the country's aspirations, Abdurrahman Chani, the military leader who assumed power following a coup in July, emphasized the goal of refining more oil locally. Chani stated, "Our desire is not to market crude oil. We want to move towards a refinery which will process Nigerian crude oil on Nigerian soil." He added that Niger has not benefited enough from its natural resources. Niger has been trying to de-westernize its administration and free its country from any colonial influence, even in economic matters. Since the coup, regional and international bodies have imposed sanctions on the country, causing strain on its economy. However, in October, Niger's budget took a huge 40% hit following its coup and the international sanctions. The country's debt also climbed to $8.5 million. The country's debt escalated to $8.5 million. And these economic realities stress the need for alternative revenue generation strategies. Last month, Niger initiated the operation of its mega solar power plant, mitigating the power shortage brought about by Nigeria's exit from its power sector. The country has collaborated with Burkina Faso and Mali to propose the establishment of confederation, marking a step toward their long-term objective of uniting the West African neighbors within a federation. In late November, the economy and finance ministers of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali recommended the establishment of a stabilization fund, an investment bank, and a committee to examine an economic and monetary unions. Thanks for being with us, and this marks the end of our story at the moment. But before we conclude, the credit goes to Adekunle Abetiloye. Adekunle is a senior reporter at Business Insider Africa with interest in the African economy, technology, and energy transition and the climate change. He is passionate about telling the story of an evolving Africa. Have a nice time and goodbye.